We're at the second Q&A session for today's event. Our topic is amongst some of the most famous discussions that's currently ongoing in the space, play to earn. And would this actually be the key to higher mass adoption? We have Jeff Holmberg, Head of Investments over at Year of Games, Tri Pham, CEO and co-founder of Mighty Five Pets, Samuel over from the Mobox team, Mr. Bake, Marketing Manager at Bakery Sort, as well as Nick Chan, co-founder of Refinable. Put your hands together to virtually welcome these top GameFi projects as well as their members.
Hey Jeff, thanks for joining us today. Maybe before we begin, would you like to do a slight introduction about yourself as well as your project?
Sure, yeah. So my name is Jeff Holmberg. I am head of investments at Yield Guild Games. And Yield Guild Games is a play-to-earn DAO where our players earn through blockchain gaming.
Wow, that sounds great. I mean, a DAO, wow. I think several years ago, there were DAO for a lot of stuff like lending and all that kind of stuff. Who would have thought with the current craze of NFTs and the surge in NFT and gaming projects, now you have a dedicated DAO just for NFTs and all things GameFi. So that's really, really insane. What would you say is some of your key challenges currently that play to earn game developers face that needs to be addressed in order to increase user adoption?
Absolutely, really good question. And I see a lot of game developers running into this issue. And I think there's really one main point that I want to focus on in our particular question. When game developers are developing a game, of course, they're doing general game mechanics, art, game flow, etc. Everything that we would most likely think that would go into a game. But when you are incorporating blockchain into that, as well as some form of play to earn mechanism into that, you have to split this in half and think, okay, the other half should really focus on building out an entire economy, right? And, of course, there's supply and demand economics for that. And, one of the misses that I do see a lot is, the common theme in play to earn can be, you might just do a task or complete a challenge and then just receive a token. And, the issue with that is that, and it might come, with some staking elements to that for further rewards, but the issue with that is it puts a lot of sell side pressure on that particular token. It sort of breaks that economy, that cycle economy of getting that token out and then hopefully putting that token back into the ecosystem. So you can see in that one example where there would kind of be a broken model there. So I do encourage a lot of people to spend time thinking about those economics, thinking about creating a cyclical economy of how players can earn and perhaps have a choice to put their earnings back into that economy. As an example, when we talk about the elephant in the room with Axie Infinity, we can see a nice economic model there, for example, with AXS and SLP. As you play the game and battle, you can earn SLP, and then of course you can combine that with with AXS in order to breed new Axies, and then you have decisions to sell that Axie or use that Axie, of course, in gameplay, which can also build up other teams, perhaps, for further token, yield. Exactly. So the most important thing there is trying to fix that gap and trying to find ways to focus on the economics as well as the gameplay so that users have a multitude of options to put it back into the economy while creating more of a stabilized token and a stabilized economy where, as that token might fall in the first example that we gave, there's a lot of sell side pressure. It might not be so incentivizing from a time value perspective to really play that game or spend a lot of time into that game, as well as, staking with a depreciating token. It's not that incentivizing, right? So, focusing on that supply and demand economics, utility for that, a governance or your utility token in general is something that I would highly suggest. And as you create that foundation layer for those players, you're creating, a bit of sturdiness in that game where you should see a little bit rise in consistency, gameplay, and more users coming to play.
Thanks for the valuable insight. With YGG being such an active participant in terms of the GameFi industry, as well as yourself, investment and directly investing in either players or projects, it must be really, really exciting. And I'm pretty sure everyone tuning in that are actually listening to you guys and all that, as well as listening to all the streams that you guys been doing, and thought leadership stuff, I'm pretty sure that they would be highly appreciative in terms of what you've just shared today, as well as they would definitely take your advice going forward from here.
Of course.
All
Yeah,
right,
look
thanks,
forward
Jeff.
to it. Thank you for having me.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Bye. Thanks, Jeff, for the really valuable insights. Must say I've learned a lot. We will now have Tri Pham, CEO and co-founder of MyDeFi Pets. Hey Tri, thanks for taking time out of your busy schedule. You must be pretty busy, considering how popular MyDeFi Pets are right now. Before we begin, would you like to do a short introduction in terms of yourself as well as your project?
Definitely. So thank you, Julian. I'm Tri Pham. I'm the CEO and co-founder of MyDeFi Pet. So we are currently building a blockchain game that are focusing on like pet collectible and also incorporate DeFi feature and personalization to onboard more and more people onto the blockchain space.
Sounds good. I mean, especially in recent times, I think you guys are doing an awesome job. MyDeFi Pets is getting a lot of traction on BSC. So once again, congratulations on your hard work. So I had a question. Why would you say gaming finance in particular is becoming so popular right now amongst all the other blockchains as well as BSC?
Okay, that's a great question. So and you can see the DeFi summer craze back in 2020 last year. So it attract huge traction onto blockchain space, and now is GameFi that is adding a really good layer because gaming is already a essential part of people's daily life. And when it coming to gaming on BC, there's a lot of users that already understand about the dynamic of DeFi. So now they just incorporate gaming experience on top of that. So it really attract people into the new space.
Sounds good. I mean, yeah, I guess a lot of new people, especially with this Corona pandemic ongoing, a lot of people are actually coming into DeFi and coming into crypto blockchain because of GameFi in particular, right? With Axie Infinity and all that. What are some of the newer trends or the new trends that you are actually experiencing in GameFi, especially MyDeFi Pet is right in the center of it all.
Okay. So for me, there is several trend that is happening in GameFi. Especially what I'm noticing is that there is more and more serial is coming to the blockchain game industry, and they are developing game in different category, not just like NFT collectible. So it will be RPG. You can expect like more maybe casual gaming also entering GameFi. So people will experience and then have the opportunity to try different game, maybe strategic or action game, that kind of thing in GameFi, and as well as there is DeFi feature incorporate in that kind of games.
Sounds good. Well, once again, thanks for your time. I'm sure everyone, especially MyDeFi Pets is one of the hottest projects right now in BSC for GameFi. I'm pretty sure that they would definitely appreciate all the insights that you shared with me today. And once again, thanks for your time, and I hope to speak to you soon. Let's now speak to Samuel over from the Mobox team. Hey Sam, thanks for being here with us today. Before we begin, would you like to give a really short introduction in terms of what you guys are doing and as well as more about yourself?
Definitely. Thank you, Julian, for having me here. So my name is Sam. I'm the co-founder of the Mobox platform. Our team has been building blockchain games for 4 years. We started on Ethereum, we then went on to Tron, and now we're on the Binance Smart Chain. Basically what the Mobox platform is we combine the best of DeFi yield farming with gaming NFTs. So we don't just create a play to earn ecosystem, but we also create a free to play ecosystem and combine the two together. So far we've had quite a bit of milestones. We've had over 700,000 NFTs minted on our platform through the Binance Smart Chain, as well as over 70 million USD in NFT trades. So this is just the beginning, and there's still more coming up.
So maybe we could start with the question, right? Why would you say that gaming finance or GameFi is becoming so popular right now in BSC as well as other blockchains?
Yeah, I think it's rather popular on BSC, number one, because I think they solved a lot of issues that other blockchains had with transaction fees and the speed of the transactions, of confirmation times of the blocks, I should say. Because one thing about gaming is that the last thing that you want is to wait for positive feedback while you're playing a game. So I think this is something that Binance Smart Chain kind of fixed. Secondly, is that they already had a really good DeFi ecosystem that kind of is the base of how GameFi kind of started. Whether it's Pancake Swap, Ape Swap, and all these other liquidity pools and AMMs, they really created a good base for GameFi to come into fruition. But most importantly, I think it's really the support that the Binance Smart Chain team kind of provides DApp developers on their blockchain, whether it's marketing, whether it's just social media, and just making simple connections with other dApps. I think this really fosters a really wholesome ecosystem where everyone's interconnected.
So thanks for the kind compliments. I guess from everyone over at the BSC team, we really try our best to ensure every single of our ecosystem partners and projects that are on BSC, we try to accelerate their growth, and obviously we hope to see that they get being successful with us, right? With regards to the new trends in GameFi, right? As you can see, previously with traditional DeFi platforms, legacy DeFi platforms, a lot of them themselves nowadays are trying to incorporate this kind of gaming element into them and gradually also shifting their business model towards a GameFi kind of business model. Why is that so?
Yeah, I think one very important thing is that everyone's trying to add gamification techniques or systems into their apps, whether it's traditional apps or blockchain dApps. Just for example, if we take a traditional one like Nike Plus, they've added achievement systems and milestones, and they try to reward their users with different things. The thing that blockchain does now is that you're actually able to reward users with something that they can actually own. So it just makes adding gamification techniques just that much more encouraging and that much more exciting. So I think this trend just started. We're still at the very beginning of it, and there's still a long way to go.
Well, I mean, sure. I mean, I really appreciate the insights that you're providing. I think everyone tuning in, they will definitely appreciate, I would say, the insights coming from you guys, especially since Mobox is at the center of everything, right? Thanks, Samuel. Up next, we have none other than Mr. Bake, marketing manager over at Bakery Swap. Hey, Mr. Baker, thanks for taking some time out of your busy schedule and coming on this and answering several of my questions today. Maybe you would like to introduce yourself as well as your project.
Yeah, absolutely, and thanks very much for having me on. Well, Bakery Swap is the all-in-one DeFi platform that provides the AMM and NFT marketplace solutions. You can exchange tokens, you can provide liquidity and participate in farming, and also trade, mint and trade NFTs.
Cool. Well, I mean, it must be a really exciting time with all these NFTs and everyone in the DeFi space right now. Could you share some perspectives on the emerging trends that you are seeing as an NFT marketplace, or trends that you are seeing with NFT marketplaces?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, first and foremost, we're constantly working to improve the general discoverability of our individual NFTs. It's becoming such a competitive and saturated market, so we're really working to adapt our display and arrangement. But other than that, we're really working on a lot on avatar NFTs right now and gaming NFTs. They've been growing a lot in demand and trading volume, so we're working to try and do more stuff in that interesting sort of NFT model. And also we're looking to, well, we're always looking to implement new features as they come up. Lazy minting is something that's got us really excited lately. It kind of removes the the difficult process for the artist to actually get a piece onto a marketplace, and it has the potential to really expand the already diverse NFT demographic. So pretty excited about that.
Wow, I mean, sounds great. Well, I mean, obviously you guys started off as an AMM, and then now you guys are an NFT marketplace. You guys are doing so many things with NFTs. What would you say is some of the main challenges as well as opportunities for increasing your NFT marketplace users?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're always really community focused and community driven. So that's really where we take a lot of our inspiration of where we're trying to build and create new products and stuff for our users. So to that end, we're going to be doing more things in the NFT and gamification world, where we're combining NFTs and DeFi and offering all sorts of very unique user experiences. So yeah, we were one of the first platforms to launch earn NFT functionality and all sorts of other ways that we can offer experiences in those models, and then also continuing to seek out affiliations with known celebrities. We've been finding it adds great additional value to the NFT collection for traditional collectors and just fans. So working a lot in that front as well.
I see. Well, anyway, I think that's all the questions I have for today. I'm sure the team as well as all the BSC community will be extremely excited, and everyone will be having their eyes on Bakery Swap, right? Considering all the success that you guys have had so far, right? So anyway, thanks for having me here today, taking time out of your busy schedule, and yeah, thank you.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. Thanks for having me on.
All right. And now, last but not least, let's speak to Nick Chan, co-founder of Refinable. Okay. So hey, Nick, thanks for joining us today. Would you like to do a short introduction about yourself and the project?
Yeah, so hey everyone, my name is Nick. I'm one of the co-founders for Refinable, one of BSC's first NFT marketplaces out there. And we're very excited to be part of the BSC community.
Thank you. So Refinable has been around with us with BSC for quite some time. Maybe you could share what's it like, working with us.
Yeah, so I think there's a great strategic reason for us to working with Binance Smart Chain for our first initial launch. I think the team is great. It's a new community. They have, the transactions are really, really fast and really secure. And so these are all different benefits that we want to give to our users. And so working with the BSC team was sort of a no-brainer for us at the time. And we're very excited to keep supporting you guys.
Thank you. So maybe you could share some perspective of the emerging trends that you are currently seeing with NFT marketplaces.
Yeah, so I think with NFT marketplaces, there's a lot of big trends going on right now. I think avatar NFTs are a huge trend that a lot of NFT marketplaces are really looking to support. I think beyond that, I think the current trend that's really happening is these NFT games that are popping up with play-to-earn models. I think Axie Infinity is one of the top ones in the marketplace. And Refinable is really Refinable has been getting a lot of traction in the NFT gaming spaces, particularly with our current partners like KardiaChain, Monsters, as well as Seascape. And so this is something we want to double down on, and we do think this is a great trend that has a lot of potential benefits to monetize playing and games for a lot of people.
Sure. Thanks for the kind insight. So before I let you go, what are some of the main challenges and opportunities for increasing marketplace users?
Yeah, so I think the challenge really goes for the NFT industry as a whole. I think there's an entire funnel of getting people onboarded to NFTs as a whole. So, step one is really getting the wallets. Once you get the wallets, how do you get the tokens? And after you get the tokens, what can you do with them? So I think Refinable really works at the sort of how can you get the NFTs level and how can you leverage these NFT levels? But we work with a lot of partners, including SafePal as well as Trust Wallet, to really figure out, making sure people have the wallet in the first place. And I think this really comes down to the onboarding flow for the entire industry. So a lot of great people are working on these small parts of the funnel. So it's super exciting to be in the community.
Likewise, Nick, thanks for your time. Thanks for joining us today.
That's great. Thanks, Jeff, Tri, Samuel, Mr. Bake, as well as Nick, for taking time out of your busy schedules. I know that you guys are all really busy. So once again, thanks for participating in this session.